who's better known as Officer Friendly. Officer Friendly is a happy man. Wait a minute. He is a very, very happy man. And what makes him so happy, you ask? He's happy because he can wear many. Yes, many diverse hats. He can farm, so move over, Elsie. Got milk? And if you're hungry, he can cook. His greatest pleasure, though, is found in driving a truck. Boy, can he sing. Generally, louder than anyone else in his section. The man can clean, so even Mr. Clean's job is no longer secure. He can even drive a bus, all kinds of buses. School buses, church buses, tour buses, you get the point. He is a man of many talents. Consequently, this makes other people happy. Now, you may know him as Mr. Fix-It, but to others, he's known as Rent-A-Dad, or even Mr. Mom. But secretly, he's part of the paparazzi. He's a great painter, or even Chef Pierre. As a pro golfer, maybe a semi-pro golfer. As a model, best man.
All right.
And he's the reason why we ventured through the snow to be here today. It's mind-boggling. Where did it all begin, you ask? Let's take time to reflect and reminisce. Joe was born on January 18, 1940 in Selma, Alabama. He was the third born of 10 siblings. He was born to an elated Josephine and Teasley Gordon. As a teenager, young Joe had a fascination with cars, so he decided to go without food in order to save money. But cars were hard to come by in those days. But Joe was so determined that any mode of transportation was good. Well, eventually, he saved up enough money, purchased a car, and decided to head north to greener pastures.
Right. Thank God.
Yes, young Joe had his own special way of getting things done. One of which was studying. Jogging in a tuxedo through a day, and contemplating his next move. Way to go, Joe. Nice car, but nobody to ride in it with you. But wait a minute. Instant popularity. Now, he's truly someone special.
The boys.
Joe really had his act together. He can fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He even managed to dodge the sting of Cupid time and time again. But finally, he came to himself So he considered and he counseled and then he waited to make his next move. His heart began to long for companionship. So he realized he needed a soft, gentle touch of him. Oh, now that's more like it. Now Katie, she had a plan of her own. So from time to time, Katie envisioned him as a knight in shining armor. So they courted, were engaged, and married on October 14, 1967.
Praise God.
Through the years, the many years, many special moments were shared between them.
Right. Just.
Then life began to take on a different face. Literally.
Oh no!
It was filled with many surprises, warm thoughts, and fuzzy feelings. But there were some days, though, that Joe just couldn't take it anymore. But it was too late. His children began to exhibit the same Next, it spread to his wife. But Officer Friendly didn't despair. He simply changed his hat and took on another road and became Super Dad. Training his children and developing their young minds to someday include Joe Fulton. Why? Because it's a jungle out there.
That's right.
You don't have to go out unprepared, says Officer Friendly. Now listen closely. I'll tell you my secret formula.
Put your game face on.
Dare to be happy.
All right.
Get out of the grumpy mode and don't sweat the small stuff. Put your mind in neutral. Learn to delegate. Eliminate the worry factor. And spend at least 10 minutes a day doing absolutely nothing.
All right.
Remember the motto, you can catch more flies with honey. Be careful what you ask for.
Okay, good.
Ask for what you want, but don't insist on it.
You might get.
Accept the fact that every once in a while, you're going to have a bad day. Become less self-absorbed, but marvel at how often things go right. Make someone else feel good.
Amen.
See the tavern in the background? Don't go there. Learn to say no without guilt. Absorb life's speed bumps and experience a magical transformation. And you too can become an Officer Friendly. Thank you.
Amen.
And we want to apologize for the quality of some slides that didn't show up. Thank you.
Good. have your attention? At this time, we would like for Eddie Hodges, Grace Camper, Al Rego, Patricia Thomas, Chuck White, Benny Mickles, Excel Rogers, Mr. Eric Jones, and Mr. Curtis Gordon come up to the front. Thank you.
What you gonna do to us? What you gonna do to us?
Right, shoot him up with water quick.
Okay, can I get these people again? Grace Camper.
Grace Camper, Mr. Al Rego, Patricia Thomas, Curtis Gordon. Please come to the head table. Go up and have some no thank
Okay, this is the part that we have all been waiting for. Those of you who don't know, my name is James Larry, and I'm somewhat of a narrator of this, whatever you want to call it here. We're going to do our best to send our friend off into retirement with letting him know how much we appreciate him. Joe Gordon is my friend. I've known Joe Gordon for about 25 years. And when Sister Katie asked me to narrate this, she said, "Brother, I think you'd be a good man to really kind of turn the needles on Joe, so to speak." But you know what? Most people know that I never hardly do what people ask me to do, so I'm going to keep up with tradition. I'm going to turn the tables a little bit, and I'm going to needle Katie a little bit. All right? Sister Katie. No, you stay right where you're at. Sister Katie and my wife are very good friends. And about 18 years ago, about 18 years ago, I came home from work. And every time I've come home from work before, and coming home from work, it looked like my family had been kidnapped. Clothes was thrown all over, chairs was laying around, dishes was in the sink. But this particular day when I came home, my house was nice and clean, and Sister Katie and Jamie were both sitting down. And it looked like they was waiting on me to come in, because I had 5 little children at home. And they were waiting for me to come in so they could go out. That ain't no problem. That's no problem at all. But have y'all been listening to the radio? They say it's gonna snow. Oh no, Katie say, "Oh, it ain't gonna snow." It ain't gonna snow at all. I say, the man on the radio says it's gonna snow. Y'all can go if you want. So they went off. And as they went off, the snow started to come down. And the snow came down, and the snow came down, and the snow came down. And if any of y'all can remember, Katie had a car. It said real low to the ground. So now I'm trying to say, now, how they gonna get home in that car that Katie got? Because that car sits too low to the ground. So I guess must have been about 5:30, left about noon. About 5:30, 6 o'clock, I got a call. James, I'm over Sister Katie's house. I can't get home. I said, well, James, I can't come get you. I got babies here. And not only that, but you left a chicken here and I ain't gonna cook this chicken. And so, I guess Katie, I got through talking with her, so I guess they figured out, well, when Joe come home, Joe will take you home, he'll get you home. So Joe, well, I found out later on, this is what Joe told me. Joe told me, and he's talking real low, he must have been down in the basement. He said, Larry, he said, I came into the house, man. And no, I said before that, I was driving that truck. He said, Larry, I was slipping and sliding out there. And I said, if I could just get this truck back to Jules and get in my car and get home, I'm going to be okay. He said he got home, he dug out a spot to get into the garage, and he parked his car in the garage, and he opened up his back door, and Beth Cheney was sitting in the bed. He said, what you doing here? Yeah, what you doing here? And they have him done.
Yes, sir. John said, tell the truth.
So, Katie said, well, Joe, you gotta take her home, bro. Larry can't bring out the babies, so you gotta take her home. The brother is a saint. Oh, no, the brother is a real saint, because he brought my wife and Sister Katie, he brought my wife on home. So, Brother Joe, I appreciate you, brother. I wouldn't come and get her. She would have spent the night that night. This is a good brother. I appreciate Brother Joe. Down through the years, he has never failed me. Anytime I needed some help, I didn't even have to ask. Joe has always been there. So I appreciate it, Brother Joe. I'll be praying that you go into your retirement, brother, and enjoy it. You know, I tell you what, I love my wife very much. I love her very dearly. And, you know, I went a little ahead of you. I retired 2 years ago. I put in 25 years with my company and I retired. And I stayed at home for about a year. And that house wasn't big enough, man. You know, I want to stay married more than anything in the world. So I got me another job. Come on in.
You might want to get sweet tonight. I think that steak is going to come off. I like to really let Brother Joe and the family know that I really love him. He's been a blessing to my family down through the years. But tonight, I like to make known something that transpired the early part of the summer. And it's really amazing because everybody knows Joe. He don't want you to help him. You always want to help somebody. And anytime, you know, you want to do something, nah, I got it, Eddie, I got it. So this particular evening, I'm on my way. I work in fresh food at Jules. And I got off about 12:15 and I'm going downstairs. And lo and behold, who I see coming up, I see Joe coming, limping, barely making it. I said, man, what happened to you? Man, I fell, hit my leg. I'm okay. I said, hey, you hit your leg, Joe? Yeah, I'm all right, Eddie, I'm all right. I said, okay, Joe. I said, well, I guess I'll be talking to you a little later on. He said, okay. He started up the stairs. And by the time he got up to the top of the stair, I heard something say, ah! And I looked back and I saw him doing a somersault, coming back down the stairs. And I'm telling you, it's God's mercy he didn't break his neck. And he came back down that way and came down on that leg. Bam! When he hit the ground, I ran back up. I said, Joe. He said, And so I got the security guard and they called for an ambulance to come. So they was taking him to the hospital. And I said, okay, then what I do, I just go to the hospital, I meet Joe at the hospital, and I stay there with him, make sure everything is okay. So I ended up going to Godley Hospital, and they ended up taking Joe to Westlake. So I ended up doubling back to Westlake and checking up on him. So after they got through running the tests on Joe, and he had messed up the other leg. So now both legs are messed up. I mean, badly damaged. So Joe said, I can make it home, Eddie. I'll just go over there and get my truck. I said, Joe, you're not getting that truck. I said, I'm taking you home, bro, Joe. I can make it. In my mind, I'm thinking, if I let Joe go home, I'm going to have a problem with this kid. I said, no, Joe, I'm taking you home. Okay, I talked him into that. So here we are. I'm putting him in my van. Getting ready to put him in my van. Let me go, Eddie. I can handle it. I said, Joe, let me help you out. I got it, Eddie. I backed up off of Joe. By the time I backed up off of him, he said, hey! Big Joe, Tom is here. Calling for me. He took both of us down. You know what he did? After this man was working for Pace, he gave me a hand. We got Joe up and got him in there. He humbled himself. Help me out, Eddie. Still crumbles. God bless you, Joe. We pray for you.
Man of Steel. Okay, at this time we'd like to have Grace Cameron.
Where's she coming for?
I'm coming to roast you, brother.
Good evening. My name is Grace Camera. I'm a cousin of Joe Ford. As a matter of fact, I'm his first cousin. We are sister and brother's children. I know Joe from way back. We grew up together. We lived in the same neighborhood. We lived in the same community. We went to the same school. We went to the same church. And we just shared alike. I knew Joe from the time he was born, I think I should say. As a young lad, Joe was very mischievous. Joe gave us a hard time. He liked to play. He was a good-hearted person, but he liked to do things. He'll pinch you, he'll push you, he'll do things like that. I was still older than Joe, but not very much. So, for some reason or other, I took a liking to Joe, and I always tried to care for him, which I don't know whether it's the best thing or not. Because he was so hard to handle. His brother Joe Fell, two together was more than one person can handle. Joe didn't live too far from us. We lived in the country at this time. My father had a farm, and he also had trees, and he had apple trees, and he also had peach trees, and we had pecan trees. Joe would come to our house, he and his brother, and I told him, I said, Joe, don't you all bother our pecans, they're not ready yet. So I would go back, doing whatever I'm doing. I come back, all pockets full, the front pocket, the back pocket, the inside pocket. He was a fat little fella at this time. And I said, Joe, did you do what I asked you not to do? No. The only thing I could do then was to pat him down. To my surprise, there were pecans. I went and got me a container. I put them all in here. So he was easy to handle. He gave them all back to me. His brother. I had a big container full by this time. So we went on from there. Joe would go home, he'd come back again, and we played together. We had a nice time together. Like I said, he was a good-hearted person. He would help you do anything you asked him to do. But the minute you turn your back, Joe was in and out of trouble. Always in and out of trouble. He had very good parents. They tried to rear him, but it was just not reaching to the door. I was thinking at the time. So Joe had his own little mind made up what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go, and the things he wanted to get in and out of. So finally, I was assigned to teach a Sunday school class on one time. And guess what happened? Who was assigned to my Sunday school class? Joe and his brother. I knew from the beginning that I was going to have problems. So they came, they were very good for a while. And all of a sudden, now you look away, you hear a squeaking noise. You look back, all faces were clear. You go back to reading or talking about whatever you've been talking about doing. Again, you hear somebody bump. You look again. It was Joe and his brother. They played in the Sunday school class. The only way to remedy this is to separate them. I tried that. That didn't work. They made faces across the room. They stood up. So finally, I said, I can take care of Joe. Joe, you get in that corner. Your brother get in that corner and stand on one foot. And that was the only way I was able to control him for the time being. But nevertheless, Joe was a very nice person. He helped anybody that would come past him. He always had a smile. He always had a welcome atmosphere around him. He created his own little fun for you. We laughed, we played, we had a good time together. But I would like to say to Joe, I would like to welcome you to the world of retirement. I don't know whether you can handle it or not. And like I said, I wish you the best of everything, the best of health. I wish you the best of all things that life has to afford. And I hope you and your sweet wife and your children and your church be very prosperous in the future. I know you're going to do whatever it takes to do for your hard-working young fella. And you like to do things to make people happy. So just go ahead and enjoy yourself. But I do feel that as time goes on, you might get a little bored. But anyway, enjoy the world of retirement. And God bless you.
Al. Did she say young fella? Did she say that?
You going old.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I can't tell you what an honor and a privilege that it is to be here this evening. That's all the speech that I can remember. I was asked to say a few words about someone tonight, very much my senior. But it seems that I forgot who it was. Oh, here it is. It's not Rocky Yolch. Is he here? I'm sorry, Joe Gordon. I knew that. Couldn't think of too much to say, so I got a dictionary.
All right.
Thanks, Al.
Webster's Dictionary. And under G for Gordon, it says Gordon Joe. Latin, noun, multifaceted, homo sapien. Half devil, half saint. Entrepreneurial in nature. A noted demolition contractor. A water cannon expert. Considered armed and instigated. Distinguished MVP football star, truck driver, newsboy par excellence, collaborative, charming, nasty, preacher, friend, and confidant. Also, frequently observed in the company of a bird-like androgynous being, more commonly known as the Don Smith species. Unfortunately, this is probably the first time in 30-some years that he's not here. Wow. These are really conflicting and divergent definitions. Anybody here want to go into why? Did any of you know that Joe was a noted demolition contractor?
All right, Al.
Let me tell you a story. Of course, it's third hand. I didn't witness it myself. But as you all know, Jewel just completed a major remodel on our complex. We tore all the old buildings down. We put all new buildings up. Joe had his license suspended because he was a little premature in trying to tear some of the buildings and fences down. So that ended one career. Water cannon expert. He thought this was the best kept secret from management ever. All one had to do was go out to the guard shack and look at the drowned rats that were checking their trucks in. Or in the garage to see drivers wringing their clothes out so they could go to work. Not that Joe was disruptive in any way, shape, or form. I think Joe built his own water cannon. It's got a 5-gallon reservoir. It shoots a double stream of water 35 feet that'll knock you right on your back. And of course, some of the residents of Wheaton know him as a distinguished MVP football star. Joe has the distinction of being the only person to make a touchdown in the middle of the night in total darkness with a Jewel truck. It seems as though Joe was going to make a shortcut from a dock at the back of one of our stores, and it was a wide open field. So Joe decides to take this truck and this trailer and all the load that was on it and bury it to the axles. And then had the gall to call somebody and say, I can't get to the dock. No wonder. truck driver, very good one. He didn't do it often enough, but he was a good one when he worked. He was also a newsboy. Every morning the drivers would come in, they'd find the Times, and the Herald American, and the Tribune, and a little cup. It was called an honesty cup. And every afternoon Joe would come back and he would look in the cup and there was nothing in there but dust. That didn't stop him from bringing the papers in the next morning though. That's the kind of guy he was. Collaborative. If there's going to be trouble anywhere on the complex within a 5-mile radius of Joe Gordon, he'll be part of it. You can bet on it. Oh, Joey, I'm going to share another secret that you shared with me a number of years ago. Katie probably doesn't know this. But Joe gave me one of the sagest piece of advices I've ever heard. And I'm trying to put it into effect for my life. He said, little buddy, right away I got scared. He said, little buddy, I'm about to give you a secret. One of the best secrets that nobody knows toward the successful planning and execution of a retirement. Buy your wife the best tools available. I mean snow blowers, lawn mowers, snow shovels, hammers, and make sure she keeps her job. Joe, I love that advice. Godspeed, Joe and Katie. Wish you the best in your retirement years, and speaking on behalf of, I think, most of the Jewel people, we're going to miss you.
Chuck White.
Okay, Joe.
Okay, Chuck.
I didn't write nothing down. This is all coming right from my heart.
Thank you.
But I can see by the way these little people are talking, you are bad. Me and Joe met about 19 years ago. I came to Jewel as an innocent kid. Joe, I thought, was an innocent older kid. One day, I hear something about Raccoon Brothers. And I'm saying to myself, self, what are Raccoon Brothers? And I see Joe and Mac, there's another Raccoon Brother out here, Frenzo, Raccoon Brother out here. Now, these are grown men going around going, woo! So I says, again, self, there's something wrong with this man. I gotta find out what's going on. So I talked to Joe, I talked to Mac and Frenzo, find out they got a little squirt gun war. So I go out and buy myself a squirt gun. First time meeting Joe, not big enough. Second time we got the battery pack ones, remember those? Each year, May 1st, we would start out with the traditional. I was the Colonel of the Ninja Turtles, Colonel of the Raccoon Brothers. We would start out every May 1st with a crick dog contest. Now I just want to show you something. And then ask you, who do you think won every crick dog contest?
Yes, sir.
We would lay the guns on the floor. Then we reach for him. First time Joe goes to pick up his gun
from way up there, and as he calls me Shorty, I'm way there. He picks up the gun. I'm laughing. 4 batteries are on the floor.
He has no gun. Now I used to tease him about soaking him from the lips to the toes. He got it from the lips to the toes. So then we started a little war at work. This was all summer long. Supervisors, like Al up there, tried to stop us. Wouldn't happen. There was a time the Raccoon Brothers and the Ninja Turtles actually put a contract out on supervisors. We were going to soak them. I pulled the 5-gallon bucket out of the truck that the supervisor just opened the door and the bucket came out. Then there was one of our many times, I could go on all night with stories, but one of my favorites is me and a couple other Ninja Turtles on top of the garage roof at the shop, waiting for our raccoon friends to come out. Now you got a picture, 3 of these chumps.
Did I say that right?
He called me a chump. Besides Shorty. Anyways, 3 of these chumps come walking out the door like there ain't nothing wrong. Well, after a few splish splash, water balloons, they were like 3 little mice. They ran out to the truck parking lot, which is maybe 50 yards away.
Tell them where you were when you split splash.
I was on the roof. I was just guiding everything, you know, a little more to the left, a little more to the right. As the 2 other chumps went running out the parking lot, that's where the rest of the Ninja Turtles were. Needless to say, that was a wet day. And I could go on. I've seen this man, professional driver he is, because there ain't nobody in this room that can drive a tractor-trailer truck soaking wet and still shoot out the window with a super soaker. This man has done it. And Joe, I'm going to cut it short here.
Yes, sir.
I like to say that we were talking at work, how it's work. With you gone, it's going to be work again. When you were there, it was more fun than work. Good luck to you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Benny Mickles, and Joe and I are cousins. I've had the opportunity to be around Joe at our family reunions. I think those that have come to our reunions, Joe has an interesting personality. He tends to come to meetings, and before you know it, you hear Joe in the background. And he really tends to stand out. But I really, really, truly thank him for helping the times that he has been there. You can always tell he's a very dedicated worker, and it's obvious I have not been around him like a lot of you have. The times that I have been around him, to me, he really is a very special person. On behalf of the Gordon, Wagner, Wilson family, I present this to you, Joanne Gordon, in recognition of 30 years of service at Jewel Food Store. Congratulations and continued success from the Gordon, Wagner, Wilson family. Congratulations.
Next gentleman that's coming on, him and Joe has some kind of ongoing thing with the Knicks and the Bulls or something. So I think we get Mr. Eric Jones at this time.
Bring that up when you're
truly an honor to be here tonight to celebrate Brother Joe's retirement. It's hard to believe that Joe is 60 years old. Joe has the personality of a teenager. A lot of things I like to say, and I'm limited with time, but let me just hit that on the Bulls and Knicks. Is the supervisor here from Jules?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think there was times when Joe was on the clock. I would get mail up in New Jersey where Joe has cut out clips from the Sunlight, put sticks of gum in there. He would mark down little sections of the paper where maybe Michael Jordan was coming to the basket, and he would write in there, "Take that, Patrick." "In your face, Starks." And he would want me to read it all. And he would call me up and he would leave little messages. I would come home from church service. And I'd pick up my message machine, and there's a Joe Gordon on the phone. And he'd have little messages there. But all that's history now. Because the Bulls are dead. But I like to say that I really appreciate Brother Joe. He has been a great blessing to me. It was really something trying to get here with all the snow, and I kept telling my wife, all this for Joe. Trying to fly in from New Jersey and landing in the snow, and I kept all this for Joe. But I would like to say that Joe has really been a blessing. We've had a lot of fun with Joe. His wife calls us the Little Rascal Club, and he's the chief rascal. Believe me when I say it. He's the chief rascal. But he has been an example to us. We appreciate him. He has been a blessing. He's been fun to be with. And it's just really amazing for me to think that he's 60 years old. Now, I don't know whether he's going to retire his water guns or not.
No! Not yet.
Not yet. Okay? A couple of things I'd like to elaborate on. Number one, I appreciate that he's been an example. He's been an example around the church. One of the things, I don't know if I'm right or not, but it seemed like the first choir director I remember doing this. Oh, really? I know it was Brother Joe. All right. I remember Brother Joe directing what's the song? He Is Everything to Me. And I remember one time we was in service, Brother Joe, I've never known him to shout a lot. But one particular service we was having on Sunday morning, I think it was. And for some reason, he got happy. And he shouted over that pulpit. He just, you remember that? Anybody remember that? He went to just shouting over that pulpit. But he has been an example to us brothers at the Church of God. He's been an example in his marriage. Yes. Is that right or wrong? Yes. He's been an example of having fun. He's been a fun person to be with. Is that right or wrong? I mean, you know, Brothers Retreat wouldn't be the same without Brother Joe. All right? And I think all the brothers can say amen on that. I remember one time I was at the camp, and the sisters was planning on soaking Brother Joe. So he didn't just carry on that at Jules, he had it at the camp. And I think he had water guns in the church parking lot. It might have been a few times if you checked that trustee room, there might have been. I don't know. Okay? But I remember one time at camp we was there, and the sisters were planning on getting him. And their main goal was to get Joe. We're going to get Joe. And had little children at the camp. Maybe 6, 7 years old. And those children was practicing. And they had it down packed, and those children were saying, "We will save the chief. We will save the chief. We will save the chief." I love Joe. He's got even the children going out there. And they had one brother who was a secret servant. And whenever somebody tried to get Joe, he'd sling his body in front of Joe. I tell you, he'd take bullets for Joe. But Joe, welcome to retirement. You just don't have the Bulls to enjoy. You've got to look forward to y'all no good Cubs. No good Sox. No good Bears. And in closing, raccoon. But he can take that out of his vocabulary. Welcome to retirement. To the children, you got a great father that you ought to be very, very proud of. And Sister Katie, you've got one great husband that I tell you, I don't care how you get tired of company. Just get ready for it. He ain't gonna change. He's Joe Gordon now. He'll always be Joe Gordon. God bless you. Next is co-worker, Excel Rogers.
Joe, where the hell your water going? I've been knowing Joe for 22 years.
I've been knowing Joe for about 22 years, right, Joe?
Yes, sir.
And bad thing could happen to me. When I first started, that during the time when I started, you would have to go out with a different driver for 1 week. And just so happened I went out with Joe. And I been making money ever since. I asked the supervisor, I said, well, I've been driving the truck longer than Joe has. And because Joe was in the White House. And he said, well, we want you to learn to do it the Jew way. Okay. You ever heard of the fox guard in the chicken house? That won't happen now. I knew the rope, and Joe taught me some things that I didn't knew that a person could do when he wake up and drive a truck for a company. I bought new cars, I bought new homes. And they know part of the things Joe taught me. The day I went out with him, I went out with him on one day. It's just pathetic. It's stuff that one person could teach you in 12 weeks, about 6 hours a day. And Joe taught me how to hide in places. He taught me where to go. Wait a minute, he taught me where to go. So the supervisor can't find you. Couldn't tell whether you were right or wrong. So when it was all over, you had to fill out the little form thing saying that the guy that you went out with, did you learn anything and whatnot. I learned how to make some money. I didn't tell him that, but I learned how to get rich. But one thing I can't understand, Joe, I've known you for 22 years. You taught me tricks. Well, you never will let me join your club. He had the club they were calling the RK Club, or RC Club. Which one was it, Joe? RC Club. The RC Club. And I'm like the other guy, I don't know what RC, what's RC? And one day I asked Joe, what about the water gun? You know what? I like to shoot water too. I want to get wet. Him and another old retired Joe back there. You know who I'm talking about. And so Joe never said nothing, just smiled. I guess because he said, well, I'll learn you one thing. I'll learn you how to make money and not to wait for it. So now I can't learn you my best trick. So anyway, Joe, it was nice working with you for the whole 22 years. And some of the best time that, that I never thought that I would learn about working along with you. And you and I have been the best of friends. We never worked on the same shift. I think the whole 22 years I worked with you, I never worked on the same shift with them, except at one time, when I was being trained. And so I want to wish you a lot of luck. And, I hope you be around for the next 100 years. He keeps saying 60 years. I hope you be around 60 more years. So because you look good. You look good.
Yeah, you do.
So I wish I forgot about the soup flowers. I forgot about the soup. Jay, you erase that? Yeah, you didn't write that down, did you?
Get the mom and go. Let's get out of here.
I get that back. Come on, Flash. Come on. How's everybody doing tonight? Give yourselves a hand for being here tonight. That's my dad. That's my mom. I'm the only son.
Thank God.
I guess it's safe to say I'm spoiled to some degree. But I'm not spoiled by my mom. It's all my dad. I guess he sees me and he looks and thinks, oh, I was just like this. My mom just put him out. Put him out. Katie, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Why you big devil like that? I'm thankful for having Katie and Joe as my parents. I learned a lot from my mom and my dad as far as life is concerned. And my mom is, the more serious type, button your shirt up. My dad, just go, Don't worry about it. Money doesn't match. Money doesn't match. Just go. Come here, baby. Look, come on now. Represent the Gordon family. I think you get it. But on the serious tip, I've enjoyed sharing my dad with you all, because that's just his personality. I just be selfish. You nervous up there. Couldn't be selfish, and we're sharing my dad because that's just not his personality. But I'll share a quick story with you. My dad got sick. Well, before he got sick, we would always. I would be down the street playing baseball, football. He'd be in the back in the garage and he'd working on cars. Mr. Fix-It. I'd be down there taking my bat or something. Junior, come on down there and help me bleed these brakes. But Dad, come on, man. It's my turn to go down here and play ball. Come on, it'll be about 5 minutes. I'm in there pumping the brakes. Hold it down. All right, pump it back up. Coming back up. I'm thinking, man, it's my bat, man. Come on. Through it all, I've learned a lot. How to work on cars and how to fix things and all this. And I appreciate it. He's been a super dad. When I was in high school, the children used to call him All-American Dad because he could do anything. So my last story is this. He got sick, maybe about a month and a half ago. And my mom would always tell me, I left home when I was 17. Left again this past, March, or, back in 97 I left, came back, left again this past March, came back, she just don't understand. My dad got sick, and he was really sick. I didn't know if I was gonna lose him or not. Just being honest with you. You know, because he was really sick. You know, it shook me up. You know, I've always tried to be prepared, you know, because you just can't live forever. It's just not gonna happen. You know, and I'm thinking my ace, man, he's sick. Sitting at the table coughing, grabbing the table. Oh, I'm all right, I'm all right. No, you're not all right. Something's wrong with you, man. No. Come to find out, you know, he was really sick, and he's here for a reason. And if he wasn't, my mom was, yes. She was gonna get me. Just to let you know. Get your bags. He's gone. I love him, but you gotta go, boy. But anyway, as you see, he's still here. And I'm still there. Since he's retired, I told him I was going to ride it all the way out. I'm not leaving until you retire. You're getting out of here. It's time for me to go. I'm going to let him enjoy his wife, and I'm going to let my mother have him all to herself. I'll be leaving. I guess I'm 17. I'll be on my way. Last story, you know, this last thing. All right, hey. Be quiet. Last story. I'm not a person to do drugs or smoke anything like that, but if I did, I like to sleep. There's nothing else better than sleeping. This guy comes home. It's bad, like on Tuesday. He gets off work early on Tuesday, and I know it. I like to stay up late on Monday nights. This guy comes in the house. He might sneak in about 8, 9 o'clock, just when it's getting good, and you know it. Boom! You better not be in my bed sleep! Oh no! You better get up, go do something! And if I got high, he would blow my high. Oh man, I just get high off sleeping. So it's just like, oh, it's Joe. Gotta go. So with that, Dad, Mom, I love you all dearly. Jack and Judy, and we're fortunate to have the parents that we have. I'm gone. Okay, this time, last week we got Chris to come to the mic. Chris. Chris. There.
Oh, Chris.
Y'all talking about?
Hi, everybody. Gentleman called for Chris. Well, everybody looked around. Who's Chris? What's up, Dolph?
Short folks.
That's what it really is. Short folks. Short people. I got it here somewhere. First of all, I'd like to thank my dear friend Excel for opening up Pandora's box with a supervisor in the room. In case anybody's interested, I now have a house for sale. And if I'm lucky, I'll leave with enough profit sharing. Debbie and I might be able to scrape by for about a year.
Any of you are looking for part-time help, I'd like to be available. I promise. I'm going to make this short. Short folks make short speeches. First of all, from a raccoon wannabe who never got the chance. Okay? Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Okay. It's a little corny, it's a little mushy, but it's straight from the heart, pal. Almost 18 years ago, I was hired as a driver for Jewel. In the first few weeks as a rookie, which, by the way, I'm told, it's almost 18 years I've been there, but you're a rookie until you've been there 20.
That's right.
I met many drivers the first week, and Joe was one of them. I knew right away that we'd become friends. Joe was willing to help out the new kid, find his way through the many mazes of the new job. There's a lot to learn. And basically, part of liking your job is making new friends and being glad to see those new friends day in and day out. Joe always brought a smile to everyone's face, everybody around him. And pal, you will be sorely missed. Happy birthday. Good luck. Best wishes. Good health. Everything God can give you. Been blessed. I hope He blesses you to infinity and beyond. That's it. Thanks.
This time we're going to have Katie Gordon, followed by Joe Gordon. So you all get back now. Okay, come on.
I'd like to say thank you on tonight. I'd like to thank the committee, and I also would like to thank all of you that have come to be with us on this evening to make this a very, very happy and notable occasion for Joe, for his birthday and for his retirement. I love Joe. Joe is very special to me, and because about 6 weeks ago we almost lost him, he has become even more special and more dear to me, because it was so sudden that we almost lost him that it made us really begin to think. Each day is a precious day, and we should take it like it is and make the best of it. They say I always want to say sobering things, and Brother Joe likes to do things that cause you to laugh. But you know what? We need to really think about that. I'll let Joe make you laugh, but I want to help you to be able to think. Cherish that wife, that husband, that companion that you have, and your precious children. Do that because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we should be glad because we might not have it tomorrow. So I'm not trying to pour in the water on you. I just want you to be content. I want you to know that we appreciate your sacrifice, coming through the snow, driving over the highways. We appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I'm going to leave the final words for Joe. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Hi. You know who I am. Boy, that was a long, hot roast. Listen, I'm going to give you a very brief, short history on my work schedule. I know you're ready to go for the most part, I believe, but I don't want to delay it too much longer. I started public working about when I was about 15 or 16 down in Selma, Alabama, and I did drugstores. Look like it's been in my pathway as a line of work ever since I started, except for one job down there, and it was Tillman Drug Store, Brown Drug Company, and Swift Drug Company. And I used to deliver prescriptions. Was part of the job that I had when I was down there, taking prescriptions to homes on the bicycle. And I remember a lot of times after I would get the prescription, walk up to the door, ring the bell, get back on my bike. Where's Brother Gino? He had to leave, okay. And after I get on the bike and go down the street a few blocks, here come a dog. And I had to get on that bike and get out of there because he was coming, get, right at my heels. You know, it looked like he liked to follow the pedal of the bike. And I would turn that cap back and say, "What you talking about riding? I could ride." So I've been peddling drugs for a long time. After I left Selma, Alabama, with those three or four drug companies, I came to Chicago in 1959 and been here since, and I hooked up with Walgreens Drug Company. You all know Walgreens, right? Was there for 10 years. Worked up to assistant store manager, and from that point I heard about Jewel. Can I have my Jewel friends please stand up? All you Jewel people that are left, stand up. Let's go. Yes. Some of them have left already, but thank you all for coming. Gino, do that again. Thank you, sir. That's Gene D. Bartola, one of the Jewel drivers. We have a serious job of feeding Chicagoland. All righty, and we're not going to mention Brand X Food Company. You know who that is. Thank you. But I appreciate all of you that have came out here tonight. Some of you came from a long ways. That one fellow that, you know, that talked about the Bulls and stuff. Yes. Used to be a one-time Bulls fan. Thank you. Well, he came all the way from New Jersey. There's some from Arkansas. There's some from Ohio that was here, and wherever else, Michigan. And I appreciate that because they came a long ways to be with me to help celebrate this great celebration. Thursday was my last work day on the truck. And I had been out to 159th and Central, and I said, I'm coming back down the tollway, I believe it was. I said, I can't believe I'm doing this. My last day driving this truck for Jewel. But I believe I could go back if I have to, Al. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Okay, I believe I can get back in there if I have to, but I have no plans of going back. Thank you. So, I appreciate, I love each one of you. Thank you very much for coming out. And is Bill McGinnis still here? Mac? There he is. All right. How you doing, Bill? All right. Okay, see that man right there? And that little fella, Chuck. There he is, right there. He was one of the ones, this man, when we would be at work, he would, don't worry, I patted him down before he came, as he came in the door already, so. Bill McGinnis, Chuck would be, he's a truck mechanic, and a lot of times Bill would come in the morning, and Chuck would be laying down on the floor, fixing the truck, the brakes or something. Bill would walk up to him with his big water gun and just soak him right there on the floor.
Time out. Let's also talk about the only raccoon brother that will walk around on a 95-degree day, sun shining, with a rain suit on. I'm going to cut off. Jewel has been can you bring my package, please? Jewel has been a very special place for me to work. I've enjoyed every bit of it. Yes, and I could have stayed another 2 or 3 years, but I felt like it was time to leave. Not because I had to leave, but there's a time and a place for all things, and I felt like the time was right to leave. But I'm really going to miss the place. I'll be going back occasionally visiting them, but they are wonderful people, a bunch of people to work with. I've been able to get along with all of them. There was not a one out there that I met that I couldn't get along with, or I couldn't stand. I didn't have that problem. I did not have that problem. And I love them. They're just like a part of my family, and I appreciate each one of them. And Jewel is a good company to work for. So all you people that are here tonight, shop at Jewel. Thank you very much. Sister, my wife Katie Gordon-Riad, will you please come up? She's already here. Irma Hodges and Barbara Sanchez. Yes. Irma Hodges, Barbara Sanchez. These are people that work on the retirement committee, along with a couple others.
It's a token of appreciation from Joe, Barbara Sanchez. My cousin Irma Hodges, she really worked hard with her computer, putting a lot of this stuff together for me, and it really paid off. And I want to thank each one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for coming once again. I appreciate it. I love each one of you. Thank you.
Chief.